I'm going to talk to you or try to talk about or unpack some truth as we consider a question that perhaps has been plaguing people for thousands of years. And that question is, why do bad things happen to good people? Why is it that good people have to suffer? And have you ever wondered that? Have you ever thought about that? Certain laws you can't disregard. And I know we could go through different ones, driving and different things. And I know it all sounds extreme, but you get the idea. If we just ignore certain laws in life, we can expect that we'll face the consequences of it. Peter's not talking about those kind of people. Peter is talking about people who are trying to do what's right. They're trying to balance their budget. They're trying to do what their doctor says. They're trying to stay in the speed limit and drive by the laws of the highway. They're trying to kind of, follow the laws of nature and those kind of things. They're trying to do the right thing, but things aren't going their way. Things aren't happening as they think they should happen. And they're asking themselves, why is God allowing me to suffer for trying to do the right thing? Well, I want to give you some thoughts on that this morning that I believe will help you. The fact is, we live in a sinful world. God created this world perfect. But what messed it up? Sin. Sin messed it up. Sin came into the picture. Folks, God created everything and it was good, but God granted us a free will. He allowed us freedom to choose. God said to Adam and Eve, listen, you have all these trees in the garden that they're good to eat. You can see all of them. They're blessed. And you can eat all these trees, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you cannot eat. Don't eat this one tree. He said all these other trees, you can have it. You can continue to live in this utopia if you just do this. Just don't do this. See, God knew that He gave him a choice. We live in a sinful world, but I want to share with you a second reason. And that is that we identify with Jesus Christ. Peter talked about it, that Jesus suffered. Think about what Jesus did in His life. Did He spend His time honing His hobbies? He spent His days and hours and every ounce of His energy into helping other people. But I want us to consider one final reason we will suffer for doing right. And that's we are dependent on Him. We're dependent on Jesus. You know, Jesus desires that we depend upon Him. Jesus is He is jealous for our attention. He desires our love, our adoration, our worship. Remember Paul? Somebody who definitely learned to depend upon the Lord. Listen what he said in 2 Corinthians chapter 12. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and needs and persecutions and distresses for Christ's sake. Remember, for Christ's sake, for doing good. For when I am weak, say it with me, church, then I am strong. Why does God allow me to suffer? Because when I depend upon Him, I'm so strong. When I'm resting in Him, that's when I'm strongest.